Welcome, everybody. This is our first official community Ask Me Anything, or AMA. We are so excited to have Keith Sant with us. He's an investor in the Washington area, and we have some questions lined up for him. He knows a ton about SEO. He's been doing investing for a long time. His profile is on Community, so you can see more about him. Keith, thanks for hanging out and answering questions.
Man, Beth, thanks for having me. It's always fun talking to you. I know I met you at Carrot Camp a couple Carrot Camps ago,
Yep.
and we've stayed in touch since, and it's been a lot of fun hanging out and seeing you grow.
Thanks so much. Yeah, that was very nice of you to say. First of all, some of these questions I know we answered in the profile, but just to give people a frame of reference, how long have you been doing investing? And I think you invest across the country. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I started investing with a partner down in Texas. I was up here in Washington State, so I did everything I could from the computer. I built a website, I answered phone calls, booked appointments. We'd get a property under contract. I would, make all the flyers, send it out. Everything I could do from a computer, like it was perfect because my partner, like, he is not tech savvy at all. Like his email is still at AOL.com, if that tells you much. Like, so we worked great, but he could close like no one's business. Like he would get there and like if there was a deal to be had, he would get it under contract. And so that gave me a full year of being behind the computer to work on marketing. And then I actually branched out and started my own, my Kind House Buyers brand up here in Washington on my own. And so I was good at marketing. I could get the phone ringing, no problem. I remember getting to my first appointment and I get there and the guy wanted like 120 and I knew I needed to be at like 90 and my palms were sweaty. Like, I don't know how to negotiate. What do I do? Beto did all this. Where's Beto at? So that, so then my next whole, journey was learning negotiating and some other things, right? Like I'm always learning along the way. But yeah, that was back in late 2017. So about 5 years now. I've been doing this. That was a long answer.
No, that's great. That actually leads me to my first question. What was it about Beto that made him such a great closer?
No one knew they were getting closed, and they weren't. And he genuinely loves people. Like he made me like I always like people, but sometimes I would throw up like little shields, like or have like I would make split decisions that I shouldn't have made. And Beto never did that to anyone. Like he just loved everyone. They had a tattoo on their face. Hey, brother, how you doing? Like no judgment, no way, from anywhere. I'm like, I just love that. And I'm like, I stopped making those, snap judgments. So anyways, but like he would laugh with someone, cry with them, pray with them. Like, he was there to help them in their time of need. And that's, so watching him, even though I didn't really have the whole it tailored the way that I, did business, how I talked and negotiated with sellers, and how I, held myself.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I know that when I first started at Carrot a few years back, I was watching some old Carrot cast with John Martinez, and it struck me like just the way he was just like super thoughtful in his approach. And I think he described people as like walking around with like a clipboard and a checklist or something. instead of
Uh,
actually listening to the owner.
yeah, absolutely. So it's funny you say that. I heard about Carrot because I was Googling like negotiating, like I literally heard that John Martinez podcast, and that's what brought me to the Carrot Cast. That was the very first episode. It was a really good one. And yeah, like when when you're on the phone, when a seller calls in or I first start talking to them, I don't ask them about the property. A lot of people, the first thing, they're told, hey, how many beds does it have? What's the square foot? What's the address? Have you done any repairs? What's the countertop? And like, wait, what's the seller's goals?
Yeah.
Why are they selling? Like, what makes them sell now? Hey, why did you call me and not an agent? Most people, and like you need to get that information. I don't need to talk about the square footage of the house. I have a computer. Some states, like some states are non-disclosure states, like like Texas and stuff. So you're not able to see some stuff, but still, I do not use that. Like I want to find out why they're selling way before I want to know about the house. And most people don't spend the time to do that. And when you do that, like everything opens up. I mean, in a negotiation, information is key. And if you know how to get the information out of people, how to get them to lower their guard, right, and actually open up to you, that's how not only do you get leverage, but that's how you're also able to craft the ideal solution for them, their offer. If you know why they want to sell or how much money they need or what their goals are, you're just throwing a number out.
So, because I've met you, I know that you are just a super nice, super friendly guy in general, even when there are no deals to be made, right? When I met you at Care Camp, I was just trying to observe, right? I wasn't like, and I think you hung around. It was your Carrot Camp was the Carrot Camp before, and I think there were 2 in a week. And I think you just
I
decided to stay, and that's
I did
how
it
I
back
met
to
you.
back.
So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have any tips for people who don't have it's a vibe, right? And a lot of people don't have that vibe. Like they're too nervous or what, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I mean, it's either, yeah, one could be they're too nervous, right? They don't know how to, they're afraid to talk to the person for whatever
Yeah.
reason, right? But we're all people. Like, I don't care if you're a millionaire or a quote unquote peasant, like, we all have the same problems. Like, we all have, relationship problems. We all have financial, whether it's maybe not financial difficulties on, like, oh, I can't pay my bills, but maybe it's financial, there's different problems at every level. And when you realize, like, doctors are no smarter or better than you. Millionaires are no better or smarter than you. No one is better or smarter than I am. And I'm no better and no smarter than anyone else. Like we're all equal. And at that point, you could get over your fear of talking to people. Like you don't need like, yeah, we're just all people here trying to get through the day. So if it's the fear of talking to people, like you have to, if you're afraid of public speaking, like you have to face your fear. And I said, honestly, I'm not kidding. I dropped out of school when I was 15 years old. I went
Did
back
you
to
really?
school and yeah, I got emancipated on my 16th birthday. The judge told me that she wouldn't emancipate me unless I got my GED. I got my GED and they wouldn't. Anyways, I got my GED a few days before my birthday. Saw the judge on my birthday, got emancipated on my 16th birthday. And so I didn't go back to school till like I was like 23, 24. And the very first quarter, yeah, I've always been afraid of talking to people. Like I would have never even been on, a live interview, a podcast, getting up in front of people. The very first quarter, I was like, I need to face this fear. I took public speaking. Like I didn't have to. It wasn't like you need to take it. I took it because I wanted to conquer my fear. I became a marketer, or I didn't even know what declaring a major was, honestly, but I declared a marketing major because that was what I was the worst at. I was really good at, making things, I can make high quality products. I could do cool systems. I didn't know how to sell at all. I would always just undercut my prices. It was the highest quality and it was cheaper than this guy. Like, I didn't know how to take a mediocre product and upsell it, like, at all. Like, so I took marketing to be better at what I was, not good at. And all of a sudden I became really good at it. So if you're afraid to do something, if you do it, you're gonna get better. Like, if you suck at writing, it's because you haven't practiced. If you suck talking to people, it's because you haven't practiced. Get out there. There's this one book, The Like Switch. Like, it's like the light, but it's like how to, flip on the like switch, get people to like you. Like
Like.
Like. Yeah. It's kind of a lot like the Never Split the Difference. It's like written by like an ex CIA or FBI. Like, this guy had his to get people to basically be spies for America, right? How do you get someone a sworn enemy of America to now trade secrets? Like, they had to like and trust you. And like, so, he was turning spies, and he's like, I realized all these things. And not that I didn't I loved people. I didn't know how to express it. I grew up in a family where we didn't have strong communication skills. I had to learn them on my own, or, through books, through practicing, but that book right there was like gold for me. Just being able to, empathic statement, show appreciation, mirroring. Because when you're, shy, a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they think they have to talk a lot. And this isn't a good example because now I'm talking a ton, but you don't have to talk a lot at all. You're trying to get information. If you're talking more than the other person, you're doing something wrong. Like, you literally just, if you mirror someone, like, oh, they say I need 250 for my house. Like, you need 250 for your house? Yeah. I got bills to pay. The mortgage is 175 and I need at least 50,000 to buy a trailer in Phoenix. Oh, so you need a trailer in Phoenix. That's what you need. Okay. How do we get you to your trailer in Phoenix? Like, maybe there's a creative financing option here where it's not $250,000 cash. Maybe but if you don't ask, so mirroring, John Martinez thing he always said was, when you say this, what do you mean? Like, when you say you need 250,000, I wouldn't say that on the price thing, but just labeling things like, hey, it seems like I might have upset you. I really did not mean to. How do we get back on track here? Like, label motion is incredibly powerful. It shows that you're paying attention. Between those two books, it really helped my communication skills with sellers, with, friends, family, relationships, like everything. My whole life, like 10x when I was able to actually communicate effectively.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. I know I'm going on a little tangent there, but it's just super important. And I think, and I know because, like I said, I was able to get leads. I did not know how to communicate. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to learn how to communicate better. And once I was able to communicate, like, if you could get leads and communicate, like, you could do anything else.
Thanks for the like switch. I'm totally gonna look up. And I'm sure I've mentioned it. I'm a huge fan of Split the Difference. Chris Voss is amazing. Not only are the mirroring and the labeling, all that, super interesting and insightful. The way he tells stories as an what was he, a FBI negotiator, hostage negotiator?
He was a hostage negotiator. And he's like, the whole story behind the book is like, most people would say, oh, I can offer 50, you want 100. Let's meet in the middle. Let's split the difference. He's like, I didn't negotiate a hostage. I can't just say I want half a hostage back, right? You never split the difference. I had to win and get everything I wanted with giving very little in return.
Yep.
And make them feel good and comfortable while doing it. not have them explode and, you know, something crazy. So yeah, that's a killer book for anyone trying to sharpen their negotiation skills.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm definitely will put those when I post this video in the community. I'll add those links underneath so that people can
Yeah.
look up those books. I know Chris Voss has a great uh, YouTube channel where he talks about labeling and mirroring. His group is called the Black Swan Group.
Mm-hmm.
Does the author of the Like Switch, do they also have a YouTube channel? Do you know? If not, I can look it up.
I don't know. I actually never looked into it. I know I've shared with that. I've shared my Audible login with, well, like 70 people, but I've had multiple friends like say, dude, Keith, that book was the best. My little brother is like, Keith, that book is better than all your other books. And I have like over like 400 books.
Wait,
So
which
that's how
one?
the like switch.
Oh, I have Audible. Thanks for that. And I have
Yeah.
credits. I
Yeah.
know where I'm spending them. Thank you.
If you didn't have Audible, I'd give you my login.
You're very kind. No, I definitely, yeah, they keep charging me. I need to get more books.
But so I only answered half your question. So I went on a tangent like, hey, if they're shy, you know, this is what you got to do, right? Just, you know, you got to get over it, practice.
Wait, before you go on,
Yep.
sorry, I want to have you said that you took classes in public speaking and marketing. Did you do that at a community college or did you sign up for a coaching series or how
So
did you make that happen?
I took a public speaking course at community college. It was 1 quarter. It was, you know, something, right? And then, you know, yeah, I got a business degree at the local community college, and I transferred to the University of Washington, where I got my bachelor's in marketing.
Okay. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead. I wanted to give a shout out to wherever you did that and what you thought of it for sure.
yeah, yeah. No, I did. I hired a sales coach too for a while. And when I first started out, like that was super helpful. Like a good sales coach, I kind of, you know, outgrew her. But and when like I was able to bring like in real time deals, like, hey, this is our conversation. This is where we left off, and you know, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I probably say it a little differently. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Yep, you're right. Boom. And then I go have the conversation. I'm like, yes, I got it. And then I go, you know, so I did hire a coach for that, but that's, you know, before I met, you know, saw, you know, John Martinez, Steve Train has an awesome course. There, you know, books, there's all kinds of other stuff as well. You don't have to go out and buy a course, but, so it was, if you're shy or if it's not because you're shy, it's because you're not thinking about the right things. You're thinking about yourself, right? Maybe you're just getting started. You've been trying so hard. You haven't closed a deal and all you're thinking about is closing that deal. And the seller could see that. You have a face of desperation. Like you're trying so hard to get that closed that they know it. They know it, and they are like, they're resistant. They resist when like, and even when I know, I'm like, man, I really need to close a deal this month, or you know, I like, it's never that way. Like you have to like be coy. You have to be like, hey, like for me, I'm always like, if it'll help, like, hey, you know, I could buy the house if it'd help. You know, this is kind of where I'd be at, and then you know, or if I'm like if they're trying to negotiate with me or you know someone else, like I never bring my price up, like not dramatically. Like if someone's like, oh well, I got an offer $50,000 higher, $20,000 higher, and I don't feel comfortable that I could go up that high, which I'm 99% of the time I can't because I don't lowball the crap out of people. Like I know what my numbers are and I know where I could be at. Like I'm not gonna try to get razor thin margins, stress myself out. Like I don't know if I could sell this deal or not. Am I gonna have to renegotiate? Am I not? Like, am I gonna use renegotiating as a tactic? Even no, hell no. That's not what I do. That's not, you know. And so I if they say they got an offer $25,000 higher, I'm like, wow, man, you should take that. Like that's that is a good deal. I don't, there's no way I could pay. I don't know how anyone else could, but if it's a real offer, you should take that, cause like maybe I know there's some dumb money out there, people with money and they don't know what to do with. Like if they could do that and not lose their shirt on the thing, even if they could, who cares? Just take the money and run. But to make sure that it's a real deal, right? That they're real, just look at, here's some things you're going to want to look for in the contract that they either sent to you or they're going to send you, make sure they have, at least $5,000 earnest money, make sure there's no inspection period at all. Like, this was my inspection. You can see right here, 0-day inspection period. I'm not going to drag it out. And, they might even put some little clause, some stupid thing in there, like, subject to funding partner's approval. Like, what does that even mean? How are you not the funding partner? Why are you in my house? Like, so make sure you don't have anything where they could just back out and leave you hanging, right? That's it. There's these people, there's people going to these like 2-day seminars at the Hilton. Now all of a sudden they're real estate investors. And that's how you kind of figure out if they are real or not, right? Are they really, and make sure that earnest money is non-refundable, if I didn't already say that. And then now I'm guiding them. I'm like, yeah, I'm here to buy houses. I love to buy houses, but really I got other projects, if it would help, I'd buy yours. But really, if you could get that price, take it, but make sure that you're looking at this to make sure that you're not getting screwed over. And now I'm their guide. I'm their trusted advisor. And then oftentimes, like, twice in like the last 6 months, I outbeat other people. One guy was $50,000 higher than mine, and another one was $25,000 higher than mine with that same tactic. I never raised my offer price.
So is it that when you brought up things to look for that they didn't trust those people anymore? Is that
like
the
one lady that was $50,000, the guy, and that's what she said. She said, Keith, like, honestly, I could use the extra 50,000, but he only put 1% earnest money down, which is like 1,200. And I know you told me like 5,000, and I'm like, yeah, and then and they did put a 10-day inspection period. She's like, I was listening, Keith, and I just feel like you're the one that could actually get this done. And so yeah, that's literally huge. What happened. Yeah, I never came up in price, not one penny. I said, this is like, honestly, I normally wouldn't even have offered this, but I see you're in a really tough spot. I know you want to get to, get to Arizona to be with your grandchildren. Yeah. And, I'm probably going to get in trouble when I get back to the office. So I'm not getting in trouble for offering the sellers too much, but my boss doesn't have to come here and meet with you nice people. Like, I'm here, I'm trying to do the very best I can. And, I know that I could squeak this under underwriting and make this happen. I wish I could offer you more. If someone else could offer you more, take it. Hell yeah, like take it. But, if you need my offer, it's a real offer. It's really going to close. I never renegotiate or back out. And I could put you in touch with title companies, lawyers and past clients that'll all vouch for my reputation.
Is there, because again, I know this is just part of who you are, right? Is there something that if somebody's super nervous and they're desperate, is there something that you would recommend so that they could kind of ground themselves so they could be more in a space to think about helping the seller more than closing the deal? And maybe that will get the smell of desperation off them to make hopefully the deal go through? Or just something, is it like all about repetition?
I mean, if you're thinking about them and what's in their best interest, it makes sense. It makes sense. If you're just that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a freak. I like helping people. Like, I get a helper's high from helping people. I don't get a high from getting the very best price possible. Like, yeah, I got over on that person. Like, I love winning, but I don't like screwing people over. Like, and I still feel really good about my service and my offers. Like, people, I've had people on my like on the video reviews, like tearing up. Like I was just, I was at a hard point in my life and Keith was here. Like they start thinking, they literally tear up. Like I genuinely helped that person. And that's what I love doing. Like I don't love, I'm not like, yeah, I got a $90,000 assignment. Like I give a crap less about what my assignment fee was. It was, yeah. But I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just a freak, so maybe I don't have a good answer for that. But life just gets so much better when you help other people out. There's like the old saying by this Zig Ziglar, and my mom used to play this on this cassette tape, and he would say, "You get everything you want out of life if you just help enough other people get what they want." And I didn't know what that meant for the longest time. Like up until a couple of years ago, I had no idea. Like it sounded cool, but like I liked helping people, and all of a sudden, I might help someone, and they would help me 10 times, like tenfold. Like I would help people all the time, and then all of a sudden, they're helping me out with bigger and better things, and all these opportunities are opening up for me, and like I'm getting referrals like left and right. Hey, like someone just told me that that yours is a great company and you treat people fair, and I need to sell my house for cash. Like, I don't even know who referred all these people to me, but people keep on referring to people to me. Like, I don't even get their names. You don't get that when you're just focused on the highest assignment price possible.
That is awesome. Thanks for that. And I think it's just who you are. But I was just wondering if, yeah, it also feels like repetition is important to help people get over the fear. And there was I still need to find this video. Like it was a guy who, and I want to say he did a Google talk as well. It's just he decided to just ask people for crazy things, and he was trying to get, like, I don't know if it was like 250 or like 500 rejections. And just by getting those rejections, he got over his fear of asking people things. It was amazing. I do need to find that, though. Is there any, and we're closing up in the last few minutes here, is there anything that I didn't ask you? And thank you for this. It's been amazing. And we went in a totally different direction than I thought we would, which is always great, because then I get to ask follow-ups and help my own curiosity. Is there anything that you wished I would have asked you, or that you want to tell new investors or any investor or agent for that matter?
Man, I know a lot of people struggle with the marketing, right? Like everyone, I don't care if you have money or the best contractors in the world that work for free. Like if you can't get a deal, you don't really have much going on. And so I know a lot of people struggle with marketing, and that's a big reason why I started focusing on it, because I didn't. But there's all kinds of cool strategies. If we only have a couple seconds, I'm literally just going to tell you, pick one, because they all work. Pick one and get really freaking good at it. Don't pick three and have them all going half-assed, because you're just lighting money on fire. Like pick one or two, like at least dial in one really good, and in a week, like focus on it, get it as good as you can, and then as it's going, optimize it even better, and then as that's going, optimize it even better. Like get it as good as you can, and not one. Pick two. Like you need two, especially if you're trying to get some momentum. But don't go out there and pick five and just let them sit there and not optimize them, because again, you're just going to be burning money. There's all kinds of ways. I'm a huge fan of Carrot and my website, because it allows me the freedom and time and the lifestyle that I want. Like if I was, having to pick up and answer follow-up cold calls right now, I wouldn't be able to be doing an awesome interview with you. So that's kind of, but cold calling works. Cold texting works. It's what I did a lot in the beginning to get, momentum. And then I took some money and invested in a website and learned a lot of stuff. But just, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that. I'd love to tell multiple people, stop blowing your money like that. and yeah, just tighten things up. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and you don't have to be the best at anything. Like, especially where we're in like these hyper, these are focused markets. Like maybe someone's really better than me over in Dallas, but you don't have to be the best in the country. You just have to be the best, better than the top guy in your market, which isn't that high of a bar. It's really not when you think about it. Like, and yeah, it's not that hard. It's not. Like I said, I dropped out of school when I was 15 and grew up in a trailer park. If I could do it, anyone could do it. So
thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for jumping on, answering my multiple extended questions, and for being our first community AMA. Super excited to talk with you as always. And thank you so much. Have a great evening,
absolutely.
everyone.
No, I'm super excited to be in there and engaging. And I hope people, ask me questions, ask anyone questions. And like I said, I've done enough things wrong to know what to do right. And if I could help you guys, get the same growth I've gotten over the last 4 years in 12 months, I'm happy to do that. So hit me up anytime, Facebook, in the group, my phone, whatever.
Thanks again.
Appreciate
Have a good
everyone.
night, everyone.
Thanks, Beth.